Marvin Pooh is crazy. Do you know he will come back around like a midnight marauder and chop all you bitches up? Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Today's looky would be our Miss Chi Chi glasses. They are still on sale for $15. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about Marvin Gaye and David Ritz, Divided Soul. The life of Marvin Gaye. By 1956, he had 3 children to support in a failed marriage. He took whatever work he could find, helping his father on plastering jobs and working on an automotive assembly line where he painted chrome on Mercury's. Y'all remember Mercury? What is it? Mercury, Child, and Lincoln's. Lincoln's still here. I don't know where the hell the Mercury is. But the rhythm in Gordy's soul didn't stop as the cars rolled by. And after work, he'd drop into Morris Wasserman's Flame Show Bar at the corner of Canfield and John R. Now, we know the John R. That's old, industrious area. At any rate, we know this story about how Bird Gordy would go down to the Flame Show Bar with his sisters. Now, in this book, they're saying that it was the sisters and the brother who was doing the concession / photography stand, where you take the picture and you go on about your business. You come back to the picture man back home in D.C. It was Mr. G. He was like the picture man in all the Go-Go's, right? Or at least the main picture man for all the Go-Go's, right? And, you go on about your business. You come back 30 minutes later. You be like, where my picture? He say, here you go. I don't know how much it cost back then. I think it was $5. But at the Flame Show Bar, it was 50 cents. Barry couldn't take the assembly line for long. He left his job in July 1957. Gordy did not, as critics have claimed, begin with the notion of producing whitewashed black music. In fact, it was his displeasure with the white way Jackie Wilson was being produced. Brunswick Records was drowning Jackie in a sea of syrupy strings that helped convince Barry to produce his own songs. Gordy was disposed to mix business and love. His new girlfriend, Sugar Ray Noma Gordy, who would become his second wife in 1959, also helped him produce artists on their primitive Webcore tape recorder when they lived at 1719 Gladstone. Like other women in Gordy's life, Ray Noma would prove to be a profitable asset. That's not my words. That's the Marvin Pooh's word. After coming to Detroit in 1960, Harvey had started a small label. Still pushing his name, he called it Harvey Records and had signed tenor saxophonist Junior Walker, a group called The Quells, and the singer he'd bought from Washington, Marvin Gaye. Oh, everything started coming together. Marvin remembered Harvey Records hooked up with Anna Records. Oh, y'all, and don't forget, that when we was reading a tell-all book, I definitely think it was the Diana Ross tell-all book. But child, you know, Marvin Pooh and Harvey Fuqua was plotting on the Gordy sisters a long time. It was supposed to be like this. Harvey Fuqua was supposed to mess with Anna. Marvin was supposed to mess with Gwen. But somehow on the way, it got mixed up. Harvey Records hooked up with Anna Records, which belonged to Gwen. Gwen had the Spinners, Lamont Dozier, Joe Tex, and Barrett Strong. Suddenly, Anna Records was called Anna Tri-Fi. There was also Miracle Records that had Jimmy Ruffin and the Temptations, and just as suddenly, Barry was in the middle of it, all with a label called Tammy. No. Tammy. No, Marvin Pooh, you lunching right now. You lunching, because when you telling the geographical points in DC, we looking at you crazy. Okay, like what the fuck is you talking about? Simple City is not there, okay? It's not in Southwest. But anyway, okay. So he said the record label was called Tammy. And wrong. Okay. And David Rich, you just as wrong. Okay. Because you should have corrected him. I'm sorry, Marvin Pooh. That's not correct. Because from what we remember from reading the Bury Me and Motown book with Sugar Ray. We love you, Sugar Ray. We love you, Ray Noma. You a bit naive, you know, and a little cuckoo, but we love you. Okay. So what happened was Gordy wanted to name the label Tammy after Tammy, you know, the character that Doris Day did in that movie Tammy. He said, no, okay. You know, we can't do that. We'll end up getting sued. No. Let's do this. Let's combine Tammy along with your children's name and come up with Tamla Records. Okay, you know, Sugar Ray. We love her, but like I said, girl, you a bit naive. She didn't incorporate her name at all into Tamla Records. Why, girl? It didn't take me long to realize that even though I'd signed with Harvey for life, Barry was about to buy me. Since Harvey needed the cash, I knew it was going to happen. As soon as Barry saw how big my talent was, he made a bid. And that was it. Harvey sold him his whole roster. I thought it was going to be easy. I actually believed I was through paying dues. All I had to do was slip into my solo thing and be a star. Lord have mercy. I was wrong. In the beginning, Marvin scuffled along with everyone else hanging on. There were a lot of people ahead of me online. That was the real problem, Marvin explained. Smokey, for instance, was not only a good singer and a great writer, but extremely tight with Barry. Their friendship went back a long way, and I couldn't expect to cut in front of Smokey. Even if I tried, it wouldn't have worked. In early 1961, the Miracles Shop Around, written by Smokey and Barry, became Motown's first million-selling single. Far as business went, Marvin remembered, Barry had the publishing wrapped up from the beginning. You could write songs in Motown, but you never owned any of your copyrights. Barry was a strong businessman who understood that the key to his personal wealth would be the accumulation of valuable copyrights. You'd get paid as an employee, paid very little, but no one except Barry kept any ownership of the songs. We were all helping Barry build his catalog. As long as you know. Barry's way, said Marvin, was to take as much as he could. He wasn't any different from any other businessman trying to make money in the music business. You ninjas better be lucky it wasn't no YouTube. Stuff like that wasn't in the encyclopedia, how to not get got by your record label, but it's definitely in the YouTube. Marvin was a troubled boy from the first day I met him, said Beans Bowles. We know Beans Bowles is a name that we've heard a lot within the Motown, inner working. He was a beautiful human being beneath all of his complexes. But believe me, he had lots of complexes. The biggest was about his name. That was the root of the whole thing. Beans was referring, of course, to the name Gaye. Marvin was burdened with a continuing crisis in self-identity. He didn't want to be what he was, the son of a sexually ambiguous man. He didn't want to be a gay, G-A-Y. Yet adding the E didn't solve the problem. He fought it, Bowles said. The cats would kid him about being gay, knowing he wasn't. But knowing how he hated hearing about it, we called him Gayski. Child, you know that ninja is crazy. Do you know Marvin Pooh is crazy? Do you know he will come back around like a midnight marauder and chop all you bitches up? Okay, and remember how y'all told me that there was a time where prostitutes was coming up missing? Okay, and y'all was trying to tell me that's not what I read, but this is what y'all told me, that Marvin Pooh was responsible for a string of murdered prostitutes out here. The early music decisions were being made by Gordy, who had put together an assortment of musicians responsible for creating what was soon called the MOTOWN sound, a distinguishable, easily digestible, and always danceable recipe for pop success. Gordy's singers were not asked, but told what to sing. Gordy and his producers made the decisions. Marvin would fight that system, and though it would take him a decade, he'd win. There was fresh, vibrant energy, always a MOTOWN trademark, but no distinguishable style. Barry was an experimenter. As a writer, Smokey taught me a lot. More as a lyricist than anything else. Smokey has a melodic mind, but he can't play no instruments. Because according to this book, he was ding, 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 only on one side of the piano, girl. He can only play one side, right? But if he would have mastered instruments, he would have been even more that of a better producer. But who cares what I think when he's written so many hits? Anyway, I think Smokey's one of the greatest poets. He has an ability to make simple words rhyme until the meaning is clear to everyone. Smokey will say things like, "I'm a choosy beggar, baby." Marv Toplin, Smokey's guitar player, also deserves credit. Smokey's done some of his best writing teamed up with Marv. Strange that Smokey and I never really wrote together. Anyway, we became friends, close friends, and he helped me. But I needed more than professional help. I needed a little personal help with the king. Now, King Barry didn't have one queen. He really had four, his four sisters. They were all real smart chicks. Esther was the oldest and the most educated. She married a politician and had lots of class. All the Gordys did. They had a hell of a reputation for being party girls. They were physical. That's true of all the Gordys, and spoiled. Gwen and Anna were glamorous, always dressed to the teeth and interested in beauty. They were also fiercely loyal to their brother. I admired that. Fact is, the Gordys were the tightest family I'd ever seen. I never saw rivalry between them. No one could break into the circle, though. I probably came as close as anyone. How did Marvin Anna romance begin? I know what you're going to say, Gaye said to me. You're going to play shrink and say that I really married my mother. Well, you're not the first to hit me with that. When you go with a woman 17 years older than you, people start talking. In the beginning, though, the age difference between Anna and me didn't seem that important. She was 37, I was 20, and still a very lonely little boy. Aside from silly flings that never lasted, I never had a real girlfriend before, especially someone who cared about me like Anna did. There was real passion between us. Anna was more experienced than me, and I needed a loving teacher. Now remember, this is what y'all said, not me, okay? Y'all come to my platform and tell me that Anna the Gordy is the reason why Marvin Pooh is all messed up in the head, wanting to do freaky things like buy vagina and stuff like that. That's not what this book says, okay? Marvin Pooh was wanting to buy vagina before he got with the Anna Gordy. My wife is 10 years younger than me, okay? We know when we're dealing with somebody younger. We know some of the things that we know, the younger person don't know. So we know that if we take them to the bedroom, they ain't gonna come out the same. We know this, and I believe that Anna did show him certain things, but not to the point where he like, oh, I'm turned out. Do I think Anna might have tossed the salad? Yeah. And I think that might have added to him wanting to do the freaking things for $40. There was a real passion between us. Anna was more experienced than me, and I needed a loving teacher. Every man does, from a professional point of view, I have to say. And I hope this doesn't sound too cold, that I knew just what I was doing. Marrying a queen might not make me a king, but at least I'd have a shot at being a prince. You see? So when that book that we read saying that Fuqua and Gaye were plotting on them Gordy sisters, I believe it. 100%, and here's proof. Besides, Anna was into my music more than any woman I'd ever known. She begged me to play and sing and write, and because she had wonderful ears, she appreciated my every move. She complimented me. She called me her fine young thing. She was more forward than I was. She knew she wanted me, and she got me. But I wanted her to help me cut into that long line in front of the recording studio. Marvin did look at Anna much the way he looked at Mother. As a woman who supported his music and boosted his confidence, theirs was a romantic relationship in which the woman, older, wiser, and worldlier, enjoyed the upper hand. Gaye both relished and resented the situation. His problem was insecurity, Beans Bowles added. He was this very shy guy who worried all the time. That's why he took to Anna. She helped him, and he genuinely loved her. Anna was good for Marvin up to a point. Same was true with Marvin and Barry. BG understood Marvin, knew how to handle him. Marvin, though, was paranoid about Barry. He didn't trust him 100%, and with good reason. You see, Barry had control of Marvin through Anna. Anna wanted two things, money and Marvin, and she got them both. She was in control of Marvin's money, and in one way, that was good. At least she kept him together. But Marvin was the kind of cat who wanted control. Being I was with an older woman too, I could advise Marvin about what to expect. He listened and he didn't. He felt like he was being had. I knew what he meant. My own theory was that Barry wanted all his stars to marry into the family. That way, BG could control everything. Meanwhile, Harvey Fuqua was deepening his relationship with Sister Gwen. There was talk of marriage. Gaye still studied his mentor with great care. From Harvey, he learned the principle of combining the personal and the professional, a typical MOTOWN motif. Okay, because you know they believe in hunching within the same circle, kind of like a cult, okay, or a camp, or one of them flower child. What is that? What do they call them? Platoons? What do they call it? When you rich? And compound. That's Hollywood. Lovely white light, baby carry. No other stars that come, the sense of God, but it is in Hollywood people. Hollywood people. Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Now remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves you babies. Have a good one.